yes. I mean, as people probably know, we tend to integrate screaming into most of our songs. I don't think there's a song on the album that doesn't have some form of screaming. I'm pretty sure there is screaming on every song, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I think it's probably more individual favourites. I don't think as a band we have a favourite song as a whole, I think. And I think different people like different songs for different reasons. Like, some people like the really, really heavy ones, and some people like the slower, more poppy songs and stuff like that. So, which I think is nice. I think if we all just liked one song, then I think that would just not show a successful album. I think the fact that we like a lot of different songs shows that we like all our music as a group. So yeah. We did. We wrote it over quite a long period of time, so it was quite a relaxed process. Towards the end, it gets quite difficult when you have to start deciding and sort of being serious about picking what songs you're going to record and picking what songs you're going to leave behind, or sort of refining things. It gets quite frustrating towards the end, but I think during the actual process, we tend to write as a group. Like, well, sort of Adam and John will write before, and then I will come in on top, but we'll tend to have kind of like group sessions, and we order a takeaway, and we have a laugh, and we have a good time, and I think that comes across in the album. I think you can tell that we've just had fun writing it. So normally, so for this album specifically, it was kind of Adam would write the backbone of a song, so he would write the guitars, bass, drums, kind of like a skeleton song, and he will then pass it on to John. John will kind of do his sort of synths and keys and chorus and God knows what else goes on top, and then after that process it kind of comes to me, or to the group as well, and we all sort of kind of refine it. So Jamie will write his drum parts that he wants to change, and I will put my melodies on, and that's kind of how the songs come together. And I know some bands do it totally the other way around, where vocalist starts and they go in reverse order, but this just seems to work for us, so don't fix what isn't broken. Not at the moment, but the more people that sort of ask for it, or the more people that pre-order our CD and order our merch from the Long Branch store, the more likely it is to get pressed. So it's not being pressed at the moment, but that's not to say that it won't happen in the future. So at this point, Wallow is out, so obviously that's probably one of the heavier ones on the album, but there is another song on the album which will not be released before the album drop. So you'll have to wait for the album for that one, I'm afraid. No, there's not any guest features this time. We decided against it because we thought we had a feature on the EP, and you know, I feel we probably would have gone with a screamer as a feature, not necessarily, but if we did, so, and at the same time I'm like, well, I can do both jobs anyway, and I think we just decided it was just less hassle. You know, sometimes it can be quite difficult to try and get people on board, especially during obviously the pandemic and stuff as well, trying to get people to record their parts and send it over, etc. So I think we just decided against it this time. Doesn't mean that we won't do it in future, because we have done it before. So yeah, you never know. Of course there's ballads on the album. Yeah, I mean, AEU style ballads. Obviously there is a point we haven't got like a full-blown, like, you know, chasing cars going on. We've got some slower ones, and I think people will enjoy those just as much as the heavy ones. Well, I hope. So we haven't decided at the moment. Obviously we're looking into different things we can do. I would quite like to do a live stream, and I think we did our live stream at the Black Cart via Hotel Radio, which was really good fun. I think we all really enjoyed it, and I think we had quite a good response online. So if you guys feel like that's something you would want, then please let us know. You know, please let our label know, please let our manager know. Any way you can, just communicate how you want this album to be released, because at the end of the day, we're releasing it to you, and we want you to consume it in the way that you want to. So yeah. So we've always kind of wanted to do like a theme, and we always really struggled because we could never find something that we felt worked for our band. And the album has a really nice cohesive theme, and there is purpose to all the single artworks. Everything has meaning and purpose, and I'm not going to tell you because I really want people to figure it out. And I tell you what, the first person to figure out what it all sort of is about, I'll give you a tweet. I don't know what else I can give you right now. So I'll give you a tweet or a like. I'll say congrats. I can't give you a trophy, unfortunately. So yeah. So we went to a guy called Oz Craggs, who works at Hidden Track Studios. He is such a babe. Recording with him was such a great process for us. It was probably the first time we've been in a genuine studio environment, and it was great. You know, he gave us so many tips, and we learned so much. And we actually went away to Folkestone. We stayed away in an Airbnb as a group, and I think we just had a great time. You know, we went out to a gig one night, we went to the pub, we went out for dinner. You know, it was a really nice process, so I really enjoyed it. So the album name, Within Each Lies the Other, is kind of a play on of As Above, So Below. I was when I was researching a lot of stuff for this album, I was really keen on getting a concept that fit every single song and fitted almost like a bubble. Everything fitted in this bubble, and it is very much sort of exploring the best of yourself and also the worst of yourself, and kind of looking at it and going, well, you can't have one without the other. You know, if you don't go through the shit, you don't learn how to deal with it in a better way. And moving yourself forward, I feel like you have to always look back at what's happened to analyse it and become a better person so you can move forward positively. And that's kind of the idea of within each lies the other, is like within each of us there's always another us that you're not particularly proud of, or you don't really want to acknowledge, and that's important. And I feel like that is definitely what most of the songs are about, and that whole self-battle with, well, yourself, I suppose. So yeah. So, as most people know, we like to experiment and combine sort of our sounds. You know, we do heavier things, we do lighter songs, and this has definitely been more refined. It's more mature, but also we have experimented with stuff that we haven't done before, so on the heavier side and the lighter side. So I think you guys should be excited for it. I think the hardest song to finish was one of the other heavy songs on the album. We chopped and changed it so much from day one as well. When Adam first wrote the song, we kind of sat down and listened to it, and people had different ideas of what they wanted the song to do, and we took whole bits of the song out, but whole bits of the song in, like bang in the middle of it as well, not, you know, the end or the beginning. And vocally as well, I think it changed the most. There was actually like a whole vocal section that was taken out and replaced, which we don't actually do that often. We tend to kind of stick with what we've done, obviously, unless it's complete trash, then we don't. So, but that one I think was the hardest to write and the hardest to complete. And I think when you have a process like that, it's actually really hard to love it for a while. You get almost so frustrated with it, you have to walk away from it, come back to it, walk away from it, Now, obviously, we're like, oh, this was great, I'm so glad we chopped and changed it, but it is a very frustrating process. So I think we've always been quite diverse on our records anyway. We've always shown a bit of the softer side, the pop, the synthy bits and the heavy bits and the breakdowns and whatever. And I don't think it's necessarily more or less diverse, I just think it's more refined. I think it's just a refined version of what we've been doing. It's more mature, and I feel like we've melded a lot of it together more rather than having separate songs doing separate things. So at the moment you can pre-order our album on CD via the Long Branch website. We will put the links in the description. And there is no vinyl at the moment, but as I said before, doesn't mean that there won't be. If you pre-order the CD, pre-order some merch, it's more likely to get pressed onto vinyl. I think it was one of the ballads as such. I think that it was the last song we wrote for the album, and I wasn't under pressure, but I knew it was the last song we had to write, and we did have a time frame, and I was really, really stressed about it, and actually it came so naturally, that song, and it's probably one of my favourites, and which is weird because I think I was under so much pressure. I don't normally work that well under pressure, but weirdly it came out just exactly how it needed to, which was really nice. So one of the heavier songs probably has the most personal meaning to me. It was about somebody I knew who passed away, unfortunately, somebody young, and I went to the funeral, and it's basically a song about that moment of that claustrophobia, that horrible feeling when you're surrounded by people who all feel the same and that you just feel so helpless. But also it's a song of hope as well, and thinking about, you know, helping other people and being there for other people when they need it.